All right, welcome back. So today this video falls under the category of videos I had no intention of making, but I was just reading the news and this article behind us came up and I was like, this sounds like a very interesting topic to throw a quick video together about, since it relates to my recent video on why you might want a Synology for your household. So let's jump right into this and take a look. And you can see, and by the way, you can search, there's a whole bunch of articles on this. I happen to pull this one from Wired, but basically it says, hey, what happens when a romance writer gets locked out of Google Docs? And the long story short of what happened was there was an author was using Google Docs to write, it looks like she does like hockey romance novels, I think it says, but we'll look at that. And suddenly lost access to her account. And long story short, it was because Google deemed some of her content as violating the terms of service. And so you can see here in the article, it says this author was, sitting down and watching hockey, and her friend texted her and said like her works were no longer available, and says, you no longer have permissions to view this document, says the pop-up message. And this is, it was a shared link. It's something her friend was seeing. And now obviously that is a super stressful thing. Imagine like you're an author. It says she had 10 works in progress, some 222,000 words across multiple files and folders, totally frozen. She can't access it, and no word from Google or anything else. Yep, she writes hockey romance novels. So she got a notification and saw the word inappropriate. She worried she had been dinged for the spice in what she wrote. She thought she had messed up, but she hadn't. At least she hadn't messed it up in any way she could hope to avoid in the future. Google never specified which of the over 200,000 words was inappropriate. No highlighted sections, no indicators, etc. Who knows? So basically, I won't go through all of this. She was just kind of doing her job, writing probably a normal normal fiction novel, and lost access to it because Google decided, or something else decided, that it was a violation of terms of service. And just to go back to the discussion I had previously about why you might want, I said a Synology, but this is, put Synology aside, why you might want to bring all of your files out of the cloud and host them locally in an environment that you control. And that could be on some other file server, TrueNAS, whatever it is, heck, maybe even on your own desktop, it doesn't matter, is because, as I mentioned in the previous video, like I don't know, or I can't keep up with all of the policies, privacy policies, everything else. And I talked about it just simply taking a long time to get my data back because there was so much of it. Imagine losing access to your data and you don't know why. To me, I just don't want to take that risk. And I feel like we're going to see more and more cases like this where someone just loses access to their work and it can actually be an interruption to their livelihood. To me, that's a very good reason to keep all my data locally. And I think for most people out there, this is not a concern of trying to hide something, right? What I worry about most is, and I think the thing I want to get across is, I worry about false positives. That you're going to have Google, all these companies looking at your content and deciding what is appropriate or not, or what violates their terms of service. And they're going to make mistakes. Like this happens in these systems. There's some set of false positives that happen. And during that period, like if you get in the false positive group and you're caught without access to your data, like imagine the impact that could have on like your work, your livelihood, something else. Imagine if she was an author and she owed like drafts of something to an editor or something like that and missed timelines. I'm not an author. I don't know if that's exactly how it works. But this could have been super impactful and disrupted, her career a little bit. It could have financial consequences, et cetera. If you get caught up in a false positive, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't always have clear recourse. And unless I miss something, I don't think these companies are committing to some like service level to review your case and get you back up and running super quickly. So for me, like again, I obviously believed kind of bringing my data back under my own control was the right thing to do and super important. But literally shortly after posting this last video, I saw this article and it just reinforced it for me. So I wanted to share that with all of you. It's just something to consider. Again, if you're going down the path of thinking about purchasing like a file server product for your home, unfortunately, you do have to think about these edge cases with your data. So that's pretty much it. I want to share this quickly. Again, you can find these articles if you just search for like in the news, like about an author that lost access to their Google Drive. You'll find all the information about this. Now, this Wired article is a couple days old, and it says that as of the writing of this article, the person still doesn't have access to their data back. So hopefully they were able to get it resolved with all the publicity this has gotten, but super interesting data point. And I'm sure as I make this video, today is actually the day that ChatGPT 4.0 was released. So everyone's going to be talking about that and playing with it. And I actually, for fun, had it write a script for this video. It did a decent job, but we'll do it the old school way where I just ramble on and on about in a slightly incoherent way with lots of ums and other stuff I'll edit out. But ChatGPT is worth playing with too, so I'll just throw that in there. It was pretty impressive stuff. So that's it for today, super quick, and we'll catch you next time.